Tons of color, lively shapes, sparkly movement. Here's a beautiful bracelet that's fun and festive to wear.
It's who I am, a little rare, some sour fare, and some mystery, putting it all together, doing what I do, doing what I do.
Hi, I'm Tamara Berg, and I'm a bracelet gal. I don't feel quite dressed unless I'm wearing at least one bracelet. This is a project that combines a flurry of color and motion to create a beautiful bracelet. So let's get started. We're working with a kit from Bead Your Own Jewelry. It's called the Trixie bracelet, and we have a couple of elements that we haven't done before on the show. So I'm going to start with this one. We are going to create the base of the bracelet, and we're using sterling silver jump rings. Now, we've talked about jump rings before, but I'm going to cover it again just in case you didn't see this. When you're working with jump rings, you never want to open them this way because it misshapes the ring, and it also can create a place where the metal fatigues and can potentially break in the future. So when you're working with jump rings, you always want to open them this way. Then when you close them up, you also have a nice tight connection between your two ends. So here we've got our jump rings, and we're working with tools that also come from Bead Your Own Jewelry. We've got some chain nose pliers that are flat on the inside, and we've got some round nose pliers. And we're just going to open up our jump ring, and we're going to add 2 links on at this point. This is going to make the building of the bracelet chain a little bit more efficient and go a little faster. So tighten that up, and now we have a 3-link chain. So we got a couple more of our jump rings here, and we're going to open one up again, and then we're going to add on the links that we've already created, and then also add on 1 more link, close that up, and then we have a 5-link chain. And so continue on that way, and then you will have in the end a bracelet chain that looks, for the most part, like this. There are 30 links in my bracelet that I've made, and the 30 links make a 7.5-inch bracelet. Now you just adjust it for whatever size works for you, and get an approximate idea because you can always adjust it longer or shorter once you're continuing on. As you add the embellishments, it will change sort of the feel and the size of the bracelet and how it fits. So just know that you're probably going to do a little of adjustment in the end. So now we're just going to add the toggles to the ends, and one of the things I really like about this kit is that every element that is made out of metal is sterling silver, and so it's a really nice quality bracelet that you're going to end up making. The head pins, the little ball beads that we're going to be using in a minute, the toggle clasp, everything is sterling silver, so it's a really nice quality bracelet. So just put that on just the same way we did the other pieces. Opening up our jump ring again, adding on the toggle, very simply, and there we have our bracelet chain. So now we're going to start on the embellishments for the bracelet, and we're working with furnace glass beads, and each of these furnace glass beads is made with glass canes, and the canes start off looking like this. Each cane is one different color, and those are made into a big glass glob and covered with clear glass and then extruded while it's still hot out of an extruder, and then the beads come out in another long cane with those colors running through, and then they are cut into individual beads so they have those flat ends on each side, and you can see the canes inside there. Our first furnace glass embellishment is going to be working with this bead, and we're taking the head pins from the kit. Now the head pins have a little end on them, but that end is quite small and it'll actually slip right through our furnace glass bead. So we're going to use some extra beads to keep that from happening. We've got a little 2mm silver bead that still is going to fit right through there. So we're going to actually add some of these fire polish beads in here, and they're just called fire polish because that is the finish that's on the bead that gives it that sort of iridescent, opalescent, aurora borealis kind of look to it. And then we just add on our furnace glass bead, and I'm going to put another fire polish bead at the top so that they frame the furnace glass bead nicely. Then we're going to again use our round nose pliers and just do a quick little turn right here. You are going to use your fingers for part of this, but really let the tools do their job. It helps with keeping your hands from getting tired while you're doing this project, and it makes everything really nice and uniform. So just a simple little turn. Then we're going to cut away the excess with the wire cutters, and then just use the chain nose pliers, which are the ones that are flat in the center, to shape that out and make sure everything's aligned up nicely. So there's our first embellishment. Next, we're going to make our petite embellishments, I call them. And with these, we're going to be using the Swarovski Crystal beads from the kit. And again, I'm just putting on a little 2mm silver bead. And then here are our Swarovski Crystal beads. And aren't those pretty? Look at all the beautiful facets and sharp, sharp cuts on that. And same thing again, just using the round nose pliers, doing a simple little twist, making a nice circle, cutting off the excess, using the chain nose pliers to flatten it out and make sure it's nice and round. And there's our petite embellishments. Now the final embellishment we have uses our extra jump rings, and these are really fun little dangles. We're just going to open up a jump ring, and then we're going to use the seed beads from the kit to embellish the jump rings. We just open them up, again using the 2 sets of pliers, and just pop on 2 of those seed beads. You can use the same color or different color, whatever you like. It's all going to be a mass of color in just a minute anyway. And then just close that most of the way. You don't have to close it entirely because we are going to be adding it to the bracelet. So that is our dangle embellishment. So those are our 3 embellishments. Now I want to talk about the tool kit that is also available at Bead Your Own Jewelry. I really like these because they're pretty much everything you need for basic jewelry design. You've got the cutter, the chain nose pliers, and the round nose pliers. And the great thing about them is each one of them has a different color on the handle. So you don't have to look really closely when you're grabbing around to find things. You're in the middle of inspiration. You need to know where your tools are immediately. And you know, just with a glance, the pink is your cutting tool. So that's one of the great things about these tool kits. So just continue on making your embellishments using as many of the elements in the kit as you want. And in a minute, we're going to come back and do the assembly.
Watch it fall around me and shades plum and verdigris.
Now we're going to continue on and embellish our bracelet. So we're going to go back to the chain, gang. Here we go, we're back to the chain, and we're just going to add our embellishments on. And I think the best way to do this is to lay out the elements along the bracelet so that you kind of have an idea of where they go. We've got lots of color and several different shapes going on here, so you do sort of want to have an idea of how the layout's going to go so that everything looks beautiful and is exactly the way you want it. And I sometimes use both sides of the bracelet, even though they're all going to be ending up in the same side when you wear it. I like to use both sides just because it makes it a little easier as you're working to get all of your elements out. And then you can, if you want, play a little shell game. See if, wait, there we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty. So we've got that like this. And then I'm just going to add my little blue Swarovskis around. And the dangles will go on wherever I want them to. So from here, it's really simple assembly, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing that we did when we were starting the bracelet and the chain. And I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to open the bracelet links to add these embellishments on because these are a little easier to put back into shape than the embellishment links are. So those are closed up already. We just add our embellishment, our beautiful furnace glass, close up the link, and there we have our first edition. And then we go ahead and add the next one, just opening links, adding on until the bracelet looks perfect and finished. It's your bracelet. You can do whatever you want with it. So we're going to keep adding embellishments, adding the little jump rings until the bracelet looks like this. Isn't that fantastic? Look at how pretty, all the beautiful shapes and colors we've got going on. Our Trixie bracelet. Now, this kit does come with extra elements added to it in case you lose something as you're working, a jump ring shoots across the room, which happens all the time with me. So we've actually made some extra things out of our extra pieces. We made some beautiful furnace glass bead earrings to match. We made another pair here with jump rings and the furnace glass beads. And We even made a pair with just jump rings and the seed beads. Isn't this pretty? And a perfect match to your beautiful bracelet. So whether you follow the kit's instructions or make something all your own, get out there, have some fun, and make something beautiful. We'll see you next time.
To create this project yourself, download this week's design guide. You'll get step-by-step instructions along with special make-it-your-own bonus tips and ideas.